Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. On behalf of Armenia Engineering Week organizers, HighTech Ministry, Enterprise Incubator Foundation, and Engineering Association, we are welcoming everyone from different parts of the world who has joined us for Armenia Engineering Week closing panel discussion. Before starting the panel discussion, I would request everyone to have 1 minute respect to our friend, the person who has had so big and huge contribution to the ICT sector of Armenia, CEO of UATE, Mr. Karen Vartanyan. Thank you. So today's panel discussion that I'm honored to moderate on behalf of Enterprise Incubator Foundation is devoted to the high technology developments in the regions of the Republic of Armenia. So my name is Amalia. I'm project manager in EIF, being mainly responsible for the regional technological developments of our country. So we have wonderful speakers. So let me introduce our wonderful speakers. Then I will shortly introduce about EIF initiatives and projects in the regions of Armenia. Then our speakers one by one will share their initiatives in the regions. We will have questions for our speakers. After, you also will have opportunity to ask your questions to our dear speakers. So please meet Mr. Avak Avanesyan, Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Economy of the Republic of Armenia.
It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Good evening, Mr. Avanesyan. Victoria Pogosyan, who is the head of projects department in the Ministry of High-Tech Industry. Hello, Ms. Pogosyan.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Amalia. Good evening.
Badvakan Hachinian, manager of Vanadzor Technology Center.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Amalia.
And Pella Harutyunyan, she is the manager of our Gyumri Technology Center. Thank you. And let me start with presenting about EIF initiatives in the regions of Armenia. You see very wonderful map of proudness and all our projects in different regions of Armenia as well as in Artsakh. So we are here presenting all our technological initiatives that were started in the regions either by direct support or by involvement of Enterprise Incubator Foundation team. This journey started years ago with GITC by the help of Fund for Armenian Relief. Then Gyumri was the first city that had, outside of Yerevan, had this technological decentralization opportunity when the government of Armenia, EIF, and the World Bank initiated Gyumri Technopark or Gyumri Technology Center project in the second city. Then the model was very successful, therefore it was also implemented in the third wonderful region of Armenia, Lori region in Vanadzor, in the city of Vanadzor. Our team understands and understood that this is not only about technological decentralization, but this is about showing the world and everyone that the capital city is not the only center of our country. We have wonderful regions with brains, minds, and the young people in these regions, in Tavush, Lori, Shirag, and others, are ready to meet the technological challenges. So having this in mind, we divided our activities in the regions into three major parts. The first and most important is education and skill development, because we know that the biggest challenge and the biggest possibility is through education and skill development. That's why our technological and not only technological, mathematical and logically related educational projects are in nearly all the regions of Armenia now by the direct support of EIF together with other partners. So when we say about education in EIF, we don't understand only this technology skill development, but supporting the especially higher education system, which is for us not only just education project, but to show, to change the life of quality of young people in the regions of Armenia, to try to stop migration and to have impact on the employment. So after education, therefore comes employment. Thanks to Gyumri Technology Center and Vanadzor Technology Center, as well as other initiatives in the regions, a lot of technology companies are already in the regions, creating employment opportunity for our lovely youth in the regions. And first comes startup ecosystem entrepreneurship, because Armenian mind and creativity, especially in the regions, allows us proudly to speak about startup development and empowerment, technological products to empower such sectors as agriculture, military, fashion, tourism, and other related sectors through brain, through mind, through technological thinking. So education, business development, startups, all these together are bringing very important feature in our regions. The high feeling of importance, less migration, and the belief that we want to spread that we are one nation, that we are one country, we are strong all together, and we can meet all the challenges joined. As you see from this wonderful map, we have also Artsakh Information Technology Center that is in Stepanakert. And here also there are many already technological companies. And this is one of the key parts of the heart of Armenia. So we are collaborating in a great way. And this collaboration will be continuous. Sorry if I'm too long, but I know a lot of diaspora Armenians are following our panel discussion now. So I want to say, when I say we, I mean all Armenians all over the world, because it doesn't matter where we are physically, we are considered to be one nation for the one goal to empower our lovely country. So I'm challenging you to join our initiatives, government, EIF, Engineering Association, all our partners, to empower our country with technology. This is the era of technology. This is the era of creativity, minds. We don't have sea, we have less national resources, but we also know that the future belongs to the technology, and Armenian brains in Yerevan, in the regions, are here to meet the challenges by your help. Thank you so much, and I will be here also to answer all your questions later, but since starting from now, I want to address to our kind and wonderful speakers, and the first speaker who I will address is Mr. Avag Avanesyan, Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Economy, who will present about ministry initiatives in the regions of Armenia and share the strategy and how the ministry tries to empower the regions. Please, Mr. Avanesyan, floor is yours.
Thank you, Amalia. It will be quite hard to present after you. You've been very comprehensive and deep on this. But I'd like to continue from where you left. Indeed, Republic of Armenia has a lot of disadvantages. But what we have is this huge untapped intellectual potential of our young people, and not only young people, all of our population in the regions. Now, what we can say is that on the way to economic development, there is a good, let's say, expression: no man is an island. Now, in the modern world, no country is an island. So you need to create value for the world and to make sure that value reaches its target. Yeah, you can build a huge monument on the bottom of Lake of Sevan, but if nobody can see it, nobody can reach it, that doesn't make sense. So this challenge, this geographical challenge that Armenia faces, should be solved through creation of high value-added goods. So value added towards a kilogram should be extremely high in the Republic of Armenia. Second is services. And as we know, Armenia, due to also such great initiatives as EIF, shows extremely strong growth in exactly this department. Now, that's not the only way to develop. The second way is to make sure that our traditional industries, where we are already historically competitive, remain such. So how do we do that? Right now, Ministry of Economy has developed two approaches. One is the industrial strategy, and the other is the SME strategy. The target of SME strategy is to foster innovation. And when we're talking about innovation, it's not only the robots and the high tech. It's just people attempting something new, whether it be baking bread in some new way or baking bread in a place when bread wasn't baked before that. So that's the core of SME strategy, trying to make sure that the business spirit of our people is supported. Industrial strategy is a bit different. Industrial strategy is targeting absorption of technological development in the world. We understand that, unfortunately, right now, we are behind on the R&D scale. We are starting to pick up, and my colleagues from the HighTech Ministry of High Technologies, high-tech industries are doing a tremendous job on that way. But it's still a long way until we are able to, let's say, reach this level of R&D stock that it can turn into already industrial progress. Thus, the answer is to absorb. But to absorb, you need people that are suave in the ways of high technology. They understand how technology works, and they are ready. They are open-minded, and they are ready to work. So, Ministry of Economy will be supporting the companies that will take on the risk and first absorb and spend their money to basically absorb technologies from the outer world. We're also going to support creation of people that are able to support those companies on the way to this absorption. It could be right now, for example, industrial strategy assumes that we're going to help with trainings, we're going to help with visits towards best technological companies in the traditional fields, and we're going to also, which is extremely important, try to utilize initiatives like EIF and the Technological Center and Banador Technological Center to make sure that demands of traditional industry, technological demand of traditional industry in Armenia are met, and are met by our local people, because we have the potential, we have the spirit, we have the drive, and we just need a little push in the right direction to succeed. So once again, Ministry of Economy believes that the key towards our industrial development and industrial competitiveness lies in the regions, and we're going to, through our industrial strategy and through our SME strategy, unlock this potential and make sure that not only GDP in the Republic of Armenia grows, but also ambitions grow with it. So that's more of a, let's say, overview of what we're doing. And I believe my colleagues will go on deeper dives of what the government and the private sector and also other initiatives are doing in Armenia to make sure that Armenia develops into a, let's say, very advanced country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Avanesian. Of course, we will come back with concrete questions and after the presentations. Thank you so much. Some years ago, Armenia, if I remember in the right way, Mrs. Pogosyan will correct me, like a year ago, we didn't have the separate ministry responsible for the high-tech sector itself. Now we are very happy and proud that we have the Ministry of High-Tech Industry, because the goal at the end is to position Armenia on the global map with its high technological and engineering potential. Because we somehow have turned the page for ICT, we are good, but now we speak about automotive, about RFs, without driver cars, engineering solutions towards for the industry, and etc. And during the whole week, our engineers from engineering association-based companies introduced their ambitious solutions and products. The goal of Armenia Engineering Week overall is to attract more customers, to motivate our diaspora to come back, to get back to Armenia with new clients, new business opportunities, and be next to us to position our country with this strong side. So now I want to ask Mrs. Victoria Pogosyan, who is the head of projects department in the Ministry of High-Tech Industry, to share about the ministry initiatives, projects, goals, and strategy, especially targeted to the regions of Armenia, because we know this year there were huge projects and are still going to be huge projects in the regions and for the regional people. Please, Ms. Pogosyan, the floor is yours.
So, hi everyone, good evening. Thank you, Amalia, for such kind of great introduction. Let me share my screen and we will start the, so, see? So, let's start. My screen is showing, I think. Firstly, I would like to mention that this is very important for the High-Tech Ministry to be one of the organizers of Armenia Engineering Week. So many thanks to EIF and Engineering Association for putting efforts to position Armenia with high-tech products on the global map.
Victoria Chan, so sorry. Can you please speak louder or keep the microphone? Yeah. Thank you.
I try. So, how is now? Amalia, do you hear me?
It's better.
It's better. Okay, so let's continue. So I will repeat the first part. So again, I would like to mention that's very important for the High-Tech Ministry to be one of the organizers of Armenian Engineering. And many thanks to EIF and Engineering Association for putting efforts to position Armenia with high-tech products on the global map. So, as Amalia mentioned, it's very important to refer and analyze the work and actions that are implementing in the regions. So according to the strategy of adopted by the ministry, our primary goal to ensure balanced development of high-tech industry. And to solve the problem, we carry out several projects. And as all know, any global issue can be resolved with the help of education and skill development, as Amalia mentioned during the presentation. And the base of our project is targeted non-formal education, which we came by the conducting research and analysis to understand what is the demand of the market. And this year, the program is the first of its kind and scale. Its educational process is not so long, but these programs are based on long-term goals to enable the beginner to become a competitive specialist in the field. And the regions are really important for us, and we are trying to do and to share all the knowledge and do decentralized through the Armenia all the opportunities for education. So let me start. So as I mentioned, I will try so. Okay, it's changed. So let's start from the first program. It's like, we call it like edutainment, and as you see through our different social media markets, we make some lives with it and see it. So let's start. So the first one, the all projects, education project, consists of two components. And the non-formal distance education program have two components having concrete goals. The first component is called the organizing basics of programming courses for beginners who wants to move in high-tech industry is an anti-crisis situation. As part of the grant projects announced by the ministry, as you see, the Russian Armenia University will organize 2 months free of charge online courses for 2,000 participants. And as you see, at least 30% is planned to be provided from the regions of Armenia. And this is like, we will see in the next slide the real picture, how the percentage from the regions, and it will be really nice. So, as you see, the program is open for people over age of 18 who will pass the program admission and meet targets of the program. And during the courses, I would like to mention that participants will gain knowledge about programming basics. And at the end of the training, the participants will master the basics of programming, develop logical thinking, and will be able to take their first steps in the programming field. So let's see the online courses results until today. And as you see, the total number of applicants is 2,733, and we have 1,329 from regions. And at this moment, as you see, are currently studying 872 people, from which 410 from the regions. And you see that almost 50% are from the regions. And with this, we are really happy with that figures. And also, we are doing something. The most active regions, as you see, it's Kotayk, Armavir, Shirak, Lori, and Ararat. So, this about the let's say monitoring and the indicators from the regions. Let's move forward and talk about the second component, which is called non-formal targeted. Oh, I think I changed my screen. Okay, so it's called non-formal targeted distance learning. And we plan to carry out trainings for beginners and intermediate level specialists in the field through the organizations of distance learning courses. And as a result, the participants will have an opportunity to master professional skills which will help them to start working in a high-tech industry. And as you see, the one almost really important thing is that at least 45% is planned to be provided from regions of Armenia. The program is open to people over the age of 16 who will pass the program admission procedure and meet the targets of the program. And according to the plan, the program will start at the end of July, about which we will officially announce. So let's move forward. And I would like to say that this component is all about 17 advanced courses through we see, like in the presentation, it's all the specialties, and we add such kind of projects like a product management, project management, marketing to give the people who are the targeted, like in the vulnerable groups because of coronavirus, they can also participate in these courses and to use their skills, to move their skills into high tech. Also, it's for students, for the beginners or working specialists from high tech. And anyone who wants to get a primary or specialized education in the high tech. And as a result, so this is about this project that will be announced at the end of July. And I want to talk about our next project. So it's, we have, you know, everyone I think heard about the virtual bridge, one of the most important projects. And one of his components, state scholarship for Armenian entrepreneurs to study in Silicon Valley. So for the first time that Armenian government is providing state scholarship to Armenian entrepreneurs to study in Silicon Valley. And the exclusive education program was initiated by ministry, which will cover all the expenses related to the invitation of the selected Armenian entrepreneurs. It's really the 7-week courses which will take place at the Draper University. And, you know, it's for selected students and world-renowned entrepreneur lecturers, also known as the University of Heroes. And as you know, Draper University is one of the most famous scientific centers in Silicon Valley. And this one important thing I would like to mention. This is an excellent opportunity for professionals who wants to develop and consolidate their knowledge and keep pace with the development of the field. And one important thing for that they people who are ready to, who will participate in the program will be ready to share their knowledge gained within 2 years of training with students in the regions and future entrepreneurs. So this is the very important part of this project. And I would like to show you the indicators of beneficiaries of this program until today. So as you know, at this moment we have like a spring session and summer session, and in autumn will be the third one. As you see from the 244 applicants, we have 8 winners, from which 4 is from regions. And from 122 applicants, we have 5 winners, from which 3 also from the region. These statistics are really happy for me that the regions are really involved and really active to participate in such kind of initiatives from the ministry. So, to be short and move forward, I would like to tell also about one of our, I would like to take also this part. So, as you know, in the framework of the state support 17 initiatives on alleviation of COVID-19 economic impact, the Ministry of HighTech announced call, which aims to support sustainable technological service companies, product companies, tech companies, providing documented and provided investment to give an opportunity to help overcome existing process, overcome the crisis, and continue creative work. And as you see on the slide, we have 3 components like innovative ideas, grants for established companies, and co-financing grants. So you see the numbers, and I want to say that acceptance of applications for these for the first 2 support initiatives are over, and projects are in the implementation stage. And for the third part, co-financing grants, the third project is in the process of involving applicants. And I would like to mention one thing, that we have a lot of applications from regions, which is really, really great. And we are really to continue to develop, to support all the regions. And for, let me say like this, so completing all the projects, the ministry together with its partners pursues one main goal: to support and develop the establishment of technology parks and laboratories in the regions of Armenia. Because technological parks and laboratories in the region is really important to improve and to develop the regions, like I said, to developing in the regions. And I would like to thank you for the, like say, to once again to focus on the growth in the field with help to such laboratories like Gyumri Technological Park, Vanadir Technological Park. So you are doing a great job, guys. And I really help, and the ministry is really involving in all the processes, and we are ready to collaborate and to develop in other regions such kind of technological parks. So, Amale, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bogosian.
I think I want to finish my presentation like a small, let's say, message, like taking our lives, and we should develop it, and we should support, and we should create a lot of projects to improve our regions and to give a good education, to have a good projects for them. So thank you, everyone. So this is the presentation.
Thank you, Mrs. Bogosian. As you heard, as you get from the presentation, the Ministry of High-Tech Industry is not only developing the strategy towards regional technological developments, but there are great educational startup ecosystem development projects that are directly implemented by the involvement of the ministry, making sure in the quality. So these all projects are coming to help to see our beautiful Armenia like a beautiful body with equivalent development opportunities. And this beauty started several years ago when in 2014, one of EIF wonderful babies, Gyumri Technology Center, was born. This was joint initiative and joint efforts coming from the government of Armenia, from the World Bank, and myself coming from Gyumri. Being grown up in Gyumri, I have seen and I see what change GTC brings in our lovely city. But we will go back to the GTC. But now, before speaking about GTC more, I want to ask Mr. Hachinyan from Vanadzor Technology Center, which when after Gyumri, Vanadzor was another city where the model was implemented, to share the VTC projects and how our beautiful Vanadzor Technology Center is changing lives in the Lori region. Please, Padvakanchan, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Amalia. Do you hear me well? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you excellently.
Okay. Hello again, everyone. Thank you to all panelists. Thank you to participants. I am representing Vanadzor Technology Center. If not this situation with COVID, I should say that now we would have pleasure to have you all in our Vanadzor Technology Center, because previous years the final event of the Engineering Week was in Vanadzor Technology Center, where we had engineering forum and expo, and I will tell about this later more detailed. So for those who don't know Vanadzor is the third biggest city of Armenia, and in Soviet times it was the big industrial center with developed machinery, chemistry, and electronics industry. And in 2016, this nice building was renovated. In the past, it was buildings of Polytechnic University that were not used, and we are located now nearby Polytechnic University. And we developed our operations here from 2016. So our mission is to turn Vanadzor and Lori Mars into a regional and international center of information and high-tech technologies by creating a developing environment of opportunities and services that will promote creating jobs, help talented youth and companies implement innovative business idea, and contribute to stable development of the region. So our main directions of our activities are the following: educational programs and skill development, business development, engineering and prototyping, workplace management, events and conferences. So educational, we have various educational programs which are tailored courses according to companies' requirements, qualification courses for the needs of regional companies. For example, we had such qualification courses for Polytechnic University, general programming courses, special engineering courses like computer design and electronics, as well as trainings for school children like technology school, summer and summer school. And in previous years, we had about 5,100 participants of these trainings. Now I will say more detailed about our courses about school children. We started it from 2015 for the students aged from 10 to 18 from Vanadzor and surrounding locations. We started to teach them from the Kodu and Scratch. These are the simple languages in gaming environment, and then HTML, CSS, and Python. And from 2018, these trainings were more structured and in the framework of technology school, where we added also 3D modeling technical English, logic, and mathematics. And also from 2018, we had summer school in order to make summer vacation more interesting and effective. And in addition to above-mentioned disciplines, we added some sport games. And the number of students for now was about 3,300. So in the other topic that I should mention, this is retraining of teachers of informatics of Lori Mars region and development of computer science textbook. In 2018 and 2019, together with the regional administration of Lori, we did trainings of 27 teachers from the schools of Lori Mars. It is not only Vanadzor, but mainly the schools of villages. As you know, the program of informatics, which are now effective in the schools, it was developed maybe 15 years ago, and it doesn't conform to the needs of present development of the industry. So we came with the initiative to develop a computer science discipline, and we did trainings of the basics of this discipline with these teachers, and later we even developed manuals of this computer science, and we are going to implement them as a pilot program in the schools of Lori region, and in case of success we are going to spread it into all Armenia. I should say also about Yandex Academy. As you know, Yandex Academy is a highly ranked programming school in Russia. And the first city that they came out from Russia, it was Vanadzor. And they established their Yandex Academy school in Vanadzor in 2017. In the beginning with 2 groups, and later we had 3 groups, and in 2018 it was also in Gyumri, and up to now we had about 100 very good educated school children with very deep knowledge of Python language. We have special courses of engineering disciplines like 3D modeling and microelectronic according to the needs of our companies. And up to now, 120 students participated there. These are the list of general programming languages that we do in regular basis. And now, because of this situation, we continue them in online mode. The next, our activity is business development. We support companies and teams in different stages of development and provide them with consulting in the following main areas like business management, sales, promotion, legal, and financial. We supported about 150 teams and companies. We have involved 15 companies in VTC and 170 employees now working in VTC companies. I mean only companies. So these are the list logos of the companies which are involved in VTC. I want to mention some of them, like Archidaj, which is the subsidiary of biggest, very big Dutch company, engineering and architect company. I should mention HighTech Gateway, which is the affiliate of American company. Also Ocensus, it is a branch of German company. These companies, big companies, have from 30 to 50 employees now. And other big companies are coming. We have for them very big, very great conditions. This is our engineering laboratory. I should say this is the most equipped, best equipped laboratory in Armenia now. We have two Haas milling machines, 4-axis milling machines that provide to manufacture the most complicated parts. And by this machinery, by this laboratory, we contribute to innovation development in Armenia. We cooperate with scientific centers both in Armenia and abroad. This is our managed area. We have about 5,040 square meters of total area and 1,500 office area. As I said before, we initiated Engineering Forum Expo in 2017, and it is our brand, I should say. In 2018 and 19, it was the final event of Engineering Week, which we participate now. All of them has more than 500 participants, and about 30 companies were exposed at the expo. Another our brand event, it is the Hackathon Innovative Ideas for Tourism Development. The goal is to promote the development and further implementation of innovative ideas in the field of tourism. And in previous two competitions, we had 80 teams involved with about 300 participants. I should say that now Vanadzor Technology Center is the most bright point in Vanadzor, and many other educational, technology, and cultural events are organizing here. You can see some photos of them. In these years, we had 150 events. And all of these we implemented with help of our beautiful team and EIF team. You can see them here. Thank you. Sorry that I was so long.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hachinian. This is always great to see our lovely VTC, even online. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now I will appreciate if Pella Harutyunyan, the manager of Gyumri Technology Center, will shortly introduce about GTC initiatives, GTC projects, and after we will come to question and answer to our speakers. Please, Pella.
Hello, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate the organizers on yet another very successful Armenia Engineering Week, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. So with my presentation today, I would like to show the actual power of decentralization and its long-term impact on regional high-tech development. And in order to do that, I'm here to present to you the first Armenian decentralized model of regional high-tech development, which is Gyumri Technology Center. So during our journey of 6 years, it's been all about growth, transformation, and creation. We strive to help the local ecosystem players grow their businesses and organizations, transform their ideas into reality, which in return brings tremendous value in cross-sector collaborations, and of course it affects the innovative culture in the regions. So to carry out our mission, we work in 3 main pillars, which are training, startups, and regional advancement. And all of our fellow panelists today spoke about the importance of all these 3 components. And I would like to share the general ecosystem overview of how we organize these different pillars. So I'll start out with the education component, and we work here with students from high school age with no age limitations. And we've partnered with a number of international and local organizations to provide high quality IT education as well as internship opportunities, which is also very important because the whole idea of providing quality IT education is to fill the gap between academia and industry, which all of us are aware of. So this blog smoothly connects with our second blog, which is the business blog. And here we work with local teams and startups, individuals who are not startups yet, but have ideas and need help implementing them and getting them into the business world. So I would also like to mention that it is very important to develop a local ecosystem, but you can't really be innovative and bring new values if you don't cooperate with multinational companies. And in the scope of this component, we've been very successful in working with major international companies to establish their branches in Gyumri. And this, of course, creates employment opportunities, and it creates an innovative culture that they bring with them and improve the quality of regional life. So I would like to speak about the services that we provide to the businesses located at the GTC and the teams that we work with. So we help with the recruitment that comes from our first component. We help with business development and consulting. We provide access to our global network of partners, as well as connect their ideas with leading investors, and in order for them to be able to take their product global. So our third component is the regional advancement component. And in order to keep our tech community in the loop of the current industry trends, as well as raise awareness about the opportunities that are present in the tech center, both nationally and internationally, we organize a number of events on weekly, monthly, and annual basis. So one thing I would really like to mention is that we partner up with non-tech sectors and non-tech entities in order to organize these events. And the reason why that is very important is because we help them increase their competitiveness in the traditional sectors, as well as be aware of the tech tools that are available for them to grow. So I would like to kind of switch a little bit here, and they say it's always nice to see for yourself than hear about something 1,000 times. And with my next step, I would like you to feel the rhythm of GTC's tech beat, and I'd like to share with you a short video in order to do that. So just be patient with me, give me a moment, and we get back to the presentation. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the dynamic, vibrant atmosphere of GTC. And for those of you who haven't visited us, you should definitely do that. Of course, once we tackle this COVID-19 situation together. So I would like to continue with the presentation. And before going to the next slide, I would like to mention that we have been successful at creating an ecosystem where all of these three components are intertwined to serve our global mission, which is to become a key player not only in the regional, but also in the national innovation ecosystem. So to give you a general overview of our trainings block, we have about 1,000 students on an annual basis, which enroll in 20 programs that are delivered both online and offline. And on the slide, you can see some of the topics that are covered in our trainings. I'd like to mention that apart from software development, the creative directions are really popular in Chirac region. There's probably a reason why, because Gyumri is known as the cultural capital of Armenia, but we're changing that and it's becoming more of the tech capital. As Batvakan mentioned, we're also implementing the Yandex Academy in Gyumri. As far as our startups, we have about 30 companies located in the building right now with more than 300 employees. And I already mentioned the business services that we provide to the startups and teams. And here you can see some information about our residents and partners. And so I'd like to speak about regional advancement. I already mentioned that we host a lot of events and conferences with leading experts and speakers. But one event that really stands out, it's our annual Empowering Regions through HighTech event. And it's been quite impactful in the sense that a lot of regional development started by the youth that was attending this conference 3 years in a row. So it's a 2-day conference, and we bring participants from all 10 regions of Armenia to Gyumri for 2 days. And the event takes place at GTC, and we have international experts, we have our local experts, we have our local teams who cooperate and share their success stories with the young generation from the regions. And here you can see some of GTC's happy faces. The youth empowerment is very important, as you know, that is the future of Armenia. And I'm very excited to share with you the vision we have for further empowerment of the regions, which is through transformation of higher education, and particularly through leveraging the Gyumri branch of Armenian National Polytechnic University. And we're very happy to have partners such as the Armenian government, the World Bank, Synopsys as our private partner, who share the same vision and will help us bring the project to life. So the project entails a complete content and infrastructure upgrade of the IT department at the Polytechnic University. And the building that you see on the picture, this is the future IT and engineering campus of the Polytechnic University. And apart from being that, it's also of a very big historical value, not just to Gyumri, but to Armenia. It is located in the cultural heart of Gyumri. And I can't tell you how excited I am and we cannot wait to open the doors to the future of high-tech education. And those doors can be virtual or physical, because it will provide the youth the opportunity to live, stay, and work, be a part of a complete ecosystem in the town that they were born and raised in. I would also like to mention another direction that is very important to us, which entails bringing technology and innovation to non-tech industries. And here, as mentioned by my fellow panelist, Mr. Avanesyan, we work with the Ministry of Economy to bring these ideas to life. And currently, we're implementing a pilot in the jewelry design sector, and we're teaching young people from Chirag and Lori regions a 3D modeling program, which will help them create the 3D models for Bagashan jewelry factory. And we're very excited about this project because it will be a successful pilot that can be replicated in other regions as well as in other industries. And so one thing I would like to mention, one last thing probably, is the value that EIF brings as an organization to Armenia. And as part of, as one of EIF's projects, we share the same vision, and all of our efforts are targeted towards these outcomes, which is job creation, sustainable regional development, less brain drain, and of course, setting an example for other regions. And I can say with true confidence that we've been quite successful in fulfilling our mission in all these directions. So thank you so much. I can answer questions if there are any. And once again, congratulations to the organizers.
Thank you, Pella. This was too positive, and once more time to see the great developments in our lovely Gyumri. So thank you so much. As you see, education, technology, business, startups, the energy from regional young people, the support from the diaspora, from the government, from all the partners, truly can result the change in the regions, can bring quality change in the regions and motivate our youth, people in the regions, just to believe that it is possible to build own home with own hands. So with this note, I want to start to ask my very short questions to each speaker, also requesting very short and targeted answer. And after, we will have also a possibility to get questions from our auditorium and participants from the world. So my first question goes to Mr. Avanesyan, Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Economy. Mr. Avanesyan, we showed that we saw that in Gyumri with GTC, you are supporting the pilot of connecting technology and innovation with traditional industry. And we also know that collaborating with engineering city companies, like recently we have been discussing this usage of robots in the industry, food industry. So I want you to answer the question very shortly. Is this just good wish or small pilots, or the ministry, the government really has the strategy to take this possibility to the regions and at the end of the day to make it understandable that technology is not separate attractive island in Armenia, but it is to empower other sectors, people and regions. Please.
I think what we're doing today has already answered the question. 6 years ago, some people could say that GTC or BTC were just a pipe dream and they would never actually work. Well, they worked. So we believe that this is just the first step. It is a sure step in the right direction, and that's why it's called a pilot. We believe that this will work, and as soon as it does, we'll start to roll out a much, let's say, larger scale programs and try to deepen this connection. We need the first link to work, and as soon as this first link works, and we already have an example with gold, hopefully we will have the good practice in the food industry too. As soon as this starts working, this will be the base of future mechanisms. So no, this is not just a good wish. This is very practical, and this will work. Thank you.
Thank you, and we really see these practical steps, and we hope that the scope will be enlarged. And though we now are speaking about more Gyumri Vanadzor technology centers, but I should mention that also by the help of our Armenian American donors and Fund for Armenian Relief and EIF, all these educational wonderful projects are in other regions of Armenia. We are very satisfied by the skill set of our young people in Tavush region that come from different border near villages of Tavush, Vayotsor, and other regions, showing the real strength also in the technology. So with this note, I want to ask Mrs. Pogosyan from the HighTech Ministry of High-Tech Industry. We saw from your presentation that the ministry is taking steps and already actually has started to implement technological education projects in the regions of Armenia having high percentage. Mrs. Pogosyan, don't you see any risk that after having this skill set, the regional people would like to migrate and to use these skills in Yerevan or outside of Armenia? Or you take also strategy and steps parallel to create job opportunities, companies, and ecosystem in the regions?
Thank you, Amalia, for the question. So for sure, after all, our main long-term goal is to centralize the, let's say, the industry in the regions also. And we start from education. It's the main basic, it's the base of everything. We need we need qualified and educated people in the regions, because will help to create some startups, job opportunities, and why not? Let's say, for example, the people after the programs, they can have a chance to become a freelance worker. You know, in this pandemic situation, all people work remotely, which is really good opportunity for the region people to enter in different high-tech companies. And it's really possible because we are talking and we are sharing our vision and our main goals with the high-tech industry companies. We are talking about our programs, we are talking about that the regions are really important for us. And regarding the next important part is the development of new infrastructures. Let's say the technoparks, labs, and acts, and it will complete of all the high-tech resources and will develop the most powerful of high-tech knowledge library. That's why we start from education. We grow, we are bringing the international experience to our country to share with the regions, to help them to work in the companies to create startups. The GTC and VTC are doing a great job to develop, and all the other regions as well. So everything in one complete pictures will help to develop and to have the really and to centralize in the regions also the high-tech. So, but let's start from the education to put our bases like in strong.
Thank you, Mrs. Pogosyan. This is more than motivating because education is the key. And when we say education, of course, school education is the key, but we don't want our wonderful, talented students to leave the regions after school education. Therefore, we are also joining efforts with HighTech Ministry, with government to empower the university education in the regions, and especially when it comes to Polytechnic University, because Polytechnic is the key now. This is Engineering Week, so our Polytechnic, our Science Academy, and these are the key for empowering education and motivate our young people to take next step and to go to high education institutions. So thank you again. And my next question will go to Mr. Hachinian from Lori region, from Vanadzor. We know that Lori has been known as engineering hub of Armenia, Gharakilisa, having all these factories, engineering, manufacturing, let's say, hub. What is happening now, Badvagan? Can we say that thanks to Vanadzor Technology Center, thanks to our engineering initiatives, I know you are educating kids in engineering, the history will come back in a good way, in a better, more improved way for industry, engineering, research. So what is your opinion here and what are the steps you take together with Polytechnic?
Yes, thank you. I think you are right. We are going to in this direction, and the specialization of Vanadzor Technology Center is to develop engineering as well. And we already have companies like, as I mentioned, Archidaj with architectural and mechanical engineering, the HighTech gateway, electronic engineering, LPD electronics with, again, electronic engineering, and Osensus 3D modeling. And we have these companies, and this is a good signal for youth that they can have work if they choose engineering specialties. And we work together, already started to work with Polytechnic, especially for architectural specialty. We're going to spread it into mechanical as well. And I think you are right. Step by step, we will turn back the engineering image of Vanadzor.
Thank you, Badvagan. I hope that among our participants, there are people that migrated from Lori region. They didn't know what is happening now in Vanadzor in engineering sector. And after our Armenia Engineering Week, they will come back with support to the sector development in their hometown. At the end of the day, it's our input efforts to bring change in our lovely regions.
Okay. We invite everybody to come to beautiful Vanadzor and to use our center.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just to mention, because of COVID-19 situation and this coronavirus pandemic isolation, processes are now online remotely in VTC, GTC, in regional centers, but quite effective because the technology sector, even during this situation, is booming, is developing, bringing solutions in other sectors as well. I want to go back to Gyumri and to ask Pella. Pella, you mentioned in the last slide in your presentation about Polytechnic empowerment, about new project that will change the technological department of Polytechnic with also synopsis efforts. Years ago, we even didn't, not we, but people didn't believe that even small companies will look at Gyumri after the earthquake as region to house technology and to position the city on the map with technology. So in your opinion, what is attracting multinationals to Gyumri? Just mention some companies that are already in Gyumri to motivate others to come. And also what is going to happen with Polytechnic, like what is the need, why this project is initiated, and what will happen next?
Thank you for two very important questions that are actually intertwined. So I'll start with my answer to the first question, which is why are the multinationals attracted to Gyumri? And I have to say it is because of Gyumret's special talent. And apart from them, of course, it's the brains and it's the devotion. People here are really devoted to the projects that they do, and everybody understands the idea of empowering their region by themselves. Nobody's gonna come do it for themselves, so they have to take personal initiative and actually do things. If it's getting quality education, if it's getting specialized training, then those are the steps that they need to take. And I'd like to mention that, yes, we've been very successful, and the first steps have been successfully made. Synopsis has established its first Armenian regional branch of GTC, as well as a department at Polytechnic, which is completely turning the page for Chirag region. and that is going to lead us to complete content upgrade of the Polytechnic University. And the end goal there is to provide quality education, as I mentioned before, and actually give an international diploma, which is going to meet the high standards of engineering education worldwide. And apart from synopsis, I would also like to mention the successes that we've seen from our local startups working with multinational companies like Fujitsu, providing solutions to Tesla, Sony Music. So, nobody ever thought that Gyumri would be the place where those solutions would be developed. But we do have very talented companies and developers in-house who work on such projects.
Thank you. And we have Synergy, Digital Pomegranate, Volo, a lot of local companies. GTC is basically full of companies that are employment opportunity for our wonderful Gyumri people, and not only. Thank you, Pella. And before I will answer the questions that we have made, also the speakers, before answering the questions from our speakers, I want, from our participants, I want again to stop on the importance of education. And though this panel discussion is about regions, but for EIF, it has become crucial, and also for Engineering Association, to promote university empowerment in Armenia. And I'm very grateful to our diaspora Armenians for supporting us in this great initiative. And I'm also giving challenge others who yet is not connected with this initiative. Thanks to San Jose State University and our wonderful Mrs. Mari Papazian, Yerevan State University, with its specialization, new project, new educational program, data science, related with data science, with the support of ISTC, PMI Science, already has great collaboration. So now we are on the way of giving dual degree on behalf of Yerevan State University and San Jose State University. Another case is the collaboration and support from Rutgers University, thanks to our Armenian Engineers and Scientists of America community, AESA. They are supporting us not only with engineering solutions, but also with educational projects, collaborating in system engineering with Polytechnic. So these are cases to say that the beauty of our projects is not in building facility, computers, or parks, though these are also important. The beauty is in content, and this content is built thanks to our supporters from the world. So this is somehow also a challenge for others, that being in Armenia while empowering the regions, this is not only about financial support, this is about moral and soul and heart support, expertise, mentorship, connecting with universities and new customers. We are only 2 million in Armenia, but yet we have millions of Armenians in the world. And together we really can position our lovely country on the map with high technological, creative minds and brains who are coming to build the future, not just for Armenia, but for the world. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, Mr. Avanesian, Mrs. Bogosian, Pella Patvagan, for your time. But I will appreciate also if we can stay here and answer the questions that our participants may have. Please, and we have the first question. Let me read the question. It comes from Kevork Torosyan. Hi, Amalia. Yeah, for me. Could you tell more details about the IT training centers in the map at the beginning of your presentation? Thank you for the question. And now you see the map, EIF map. As I mentioned, EIF projects cover all Armenia and Artsakh. And speaking about training centers in other regions of Armenia, this is done by the financial support from Fund for Armenian Relief and donors. And these training centers have the goal to implement the model of Gyumri and Vanadzor. So how we started in Gyumri and Vanadzor with skill development. Then we started little by little identify the strong side of each city. For example, Gyumri is strong in creativity, in high technology, Vanadzor more with engineering, like giving somehow flagship to each region. So the same is also the goal of these training centers in the region. For example, if we speak about Davos, we are collaborating with Yerevan State University Ijevan branch. We have very talented students in Davos, in Ijevan, and we are with the goal to take the military high technology direction in Davos to make sure that our kids and our young people in the region, they have this strong soul and the soul to fight for their region. They will also do this with technology. Speaking about Viotsor and other region training centers, we are delivering these courses again, as Mrs. Bogosian mentioned, with the goal to promote them to stay in the region. How we can do it and how we do, we have lessons learned again from Gyumri Vanadzor. We have task force support, government support, and private sector support. And our trainers, they go from private sector, from Gyumri to Vanadzor, from Gyumri to Davos, from Vanadzor to Viotsor. And these training centers are not only about teaching, but creating cross-regional collaboration when everyone speaks the same dialect when it comes to technology and trainings, and when everyone has the key goal through education to empower the region. I will be happy to share more about the regional trainings later, Geborg-chan, and we can even discuss how to how to make the scope bigger. Thank you. I hope I answered. I think we don't have any other question. So thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Dear speakers, if you have anything to add as a closing very shortly, that will be great. Then we will close our wonderful panel. Please, Mr. Avanesian, your closing remark to Armenia Engineering Week.
The only thing that I would say is every time that I hear about achievements of our young people from the regions, I only get excited about it. And I know that usually public officials shouldn't talk about being excited about stuff, always be somber and very collected, but we're truly excited. And this excitement translates to our work. And so please keep exciting us with these new ideas, with your energy, and with your belief in a better future, because we base everything that we do on our strong belief that people in the regions have this, let's say, huge potential to achieve our dreams. And so thank you all, and please keep supporting this potential. Please keep growing this potential. Please keep enabling the future of Armenia. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avanesian. Please, Ms. Pogosian, your closing remark.
First of all, thank you, Amalia. Thank you for this nice Friday evening. And I want to continue, like Mr. Avanesian said, keep it going. And government and the foundation and everyone will ready to have to build a strong community in the regions as well. And so you are doing a great job, and all together with all the projects that we have, I'm pretty sure that we will have the very good result at the end. And we have all the regions like in HighTech developing, and with the international expertise and their experience to share with others, to mix it together, we will have the fantastic results. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Pogosian. But Vakancha, your message to worldwide laureates in ESH, especially in engineering. Very short message. Closing remark.
Again, I want to say thank you to you, Amalia, to organizers of Engineering Week Armenia. I want to mention again, as you said in the beginning, Armenia, it is not only the Yerevan, but the regions also. HighTech and IT are very well developed in Yerevan, and now is time to bring it out from Yerevan and to develop it in regions like Lori, Shirak, other regions, and by this to make our country more powerful and strong. And I invite all people from Lori and from Vanadzor who are now abroad, working abroad, to come and establish companies in Vanadzor Technology Center to use our resources, and we will help them to do it in the best way and to have the best results. Thank you.
Thank you, Patvakan. And I want, as a closing remark, Pella, your message to other regional young people, because you are the one, you came back from US and now in Gyumri. So what is your message to encourage them to be in the sector and in the region?
I think we live in a very interesting decade right now, because everything is changing. We're entering a completely new chapter, and this is true for the whole world, but it's particularly true for Armenia and everything that our country is experiencing right now, because things are booming and in a good way. So I think there is no better time to join efforts from diaspora, from the public, private sectors, from the regional key players to actually make history. And I believe this year will be a turning point for our country, for further tech development. And I would also like to mention another thing. There is no such thing as a tech sector. It's in all the sectors, it's in all the industries. And the current pandemic situation and everything that's happening is proving that to be true. So that's my closing remark. Thanks again. I would like to thank also my fellow panelists, and I can't wait to work on further joint projects together. So thank you.
Thank you. And I will close the panel with this note that it is all about the efforts that we join together to bring change to our lovely country. In every morning we wake up, the motivation to work, to take possibilities, to do unbelievable things, the motivation is our love and our warm attitude to our lovely Armenia and Armenians all over the world. All is about connecting sectors, people, taking steps to have impact on the life quality in the country and in a good way to share this in the world through technology. Everything is possible when we are joined, when we are together, and when we spread the positive energy in our country and in the world. Thank you, dear speakers, and I was really honored to moderate this panel, my favorite panel. This was targeted to the regions, and I'm so sorry I didn't mention all the regions. Syunik, Kieğarkunik, Aragazotan, every corner of Armenia is very important for us, and we want to believe that by the help of the government, by the help of our partners, we will proudly introduce about our other technological centers and tech projects in other regions of Armenia, as the seeds are already there. The closing of Armenia Engineering Week was supposed to be with a concert by Bambir, by the great group of Bambir. But taking into consideration what is happening in the border now and taking into consideration several other facts, we are just uploaded. You can, in Engineering Week website, you can see the link to the concert performed by our lovely Bambir, special for Armenia Engineering Week 2020. You can go through link, you can enjoy the concert yourself. And as a closing, I would like to say thank you to all organizers, the Ministry of High-Tech Industry, Enterprise Incubator Foundation team, and Engineering Association with all its hardworking engineers and engineering companies. And with this note, I want to invite here Mr. Salatian, the person who is putting so much efforts in empowering engineering and high tech in Armenia, to moderate the session, to have question answers, to get feedback and suggestions for the coming Armenia Engineering Week. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for your time. Stay safe and have a very, very nice evening, and be active to give feedback